Hey, it's Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys Barbecue with a new exciting video for you today. You know, if orange isn't your favorite color, it sure as hell will be by the time we're done with you today. We did orange carrot glazed chicken, just a simple grilled chicken with an orange carrot Grand Marnier glaze to it. And we smoked some carrots in a maple butter glaze as well. We topped that off with a Carrot-Top pesto. I'm gonna show you how you can do this at home, but before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, and as always, ring that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. Stick around, we're cooking together. All right, let's get busy here. We're gonna work on our Carrot-Top pesto first. Now I'm using a food processor. We've got several ingredients we're gonna add to the food process. It's all gonna come together. Now, first of all, the most important ingredient are carrot tops. If you haven't had a carrot top, they're very grassy and they can be slightly bitter. So we're gonna be balancing the flavors off with the carrot tops. So I got about 1 cup of carrot tops. We're gonna go right into the food processor with this. And to balance off some of that bitterness, some of that grassiness, I'm going in with a cup of fresh basil leaves. So that's gonna give us a nice flavor, nice balance. And we're gonna go in with a 1/2 cup of pistachio nuts. You can use pine nuts, walnuts. Pine nuts are traditionally the traditional ingredient in a pesto, but we're gonna go in with some pistachio nuts. A little bit of salt and pepper. And I have 1 clove of garlic chopped finely. Got about a 1/2 cup of grated Pecorino Romano cheese. And the most important ingredient, of course, I got a 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil. In we go, we're getting all those ingredients in together. About 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You can also use honey for this. It's gonna give a little tinge of sweetness. It's gonna balance all this out quite a bit. So I'm just gonna eyeball about 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. That's it, pretty simple, all in one pot together. We're gonna get the lid on, then we're gonna get this all processed up. We're gonna give it a few pulses until it begins to all come together. Now what you wanna do is get a spatula and just get some of this pushed down from the sides because it'll have a tendency to ride up a little bit. That looks great. We're gonna give it a few more pulses. All right, we're gonna give it a taste. Check for seasonings. Oh. Damn, that's good. I could eat that. Just sit here and eat it right out of the bowl with a spoon. Forget about anything else. Now here's another, when you get to this point, you can make adjustments to the consistency. If you're looking for something a little more loose, a little more liquidy, if that makes sense, you can add a little more olive oil. Right now the flavors are so strong, so pungent that adding a little more olive oil, or even water for that matter, really isn't going to hurt the flavor aspect of it all. So I'm looking for something just a little more loose than it is, so I'm actually gonna add just a little touch of water to this. Not much. It's much better to go a little at a time than dump the whole thing in, then you can't take it out. And that's looking great. So all we gotta do is remove this blade, and I'm gonna turn this out into a bowl. We're just gonna reserve this off to the side until we get to the end where we're gonna be needing this for our smoked carrots. There it is, our Carrot-Top pesto. Now we gotta turn our focus to our orange carrot Grand Marnier glaze. Got about 5 or 6 small carrots. Now I went ahead and cut them in half, and I cut some of those halves in half just to kind of make them all equal sizes so they cook equally. I'm gonna go right into a medium sauce pot. Now we're gonna be braising these in orange juice. So I'm gonna cover, we're just gonna go up to the tops of these carrots. You don't need much more than enough just to cover them. These are gonna braise till they're nice and soft, fork tender. As far as flavorings, in this braise, I'm gonna go in with 1 sprig of fresh rosemary and maybe 2 or 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. And that is it. I'm just gonna bring this up to a boil. Then we're gonna reduce the heat to a simmer and just let that go. And we're gonna come back and check those periodically with a fork, just to make sure that they're fork tender. All right, we're ready to get going with our orange carrot glaze. Our carrots have been simmering here in the orange juice for a good 20 minutes, and they're now fork tender. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna drain these carrots off, reserving that orange juice. We need that orange juice because it's gonna be going into our glaze. So we'll just get these strained off. We're gonna be putting this together in a food process as well. All right, these are drained off good, in we go. So I wanna get these carrots pureed first before we add our remaining ingredients. So we'll just give it a few pulses. We're only pureeing this. No rocket science here, just keep going until you see it. There are no longer any small chunks. Gonna go in there and take a look every now and then. Got a little ways to go. All right, those are good. What we wanna do now is basically all the ingredients in this glaze will pretty much are equal amounts, half cup of each. So I'm gonna remove about a half a cup from this food processor and get it measured up so we can get it back in to finish the rest of our glaze. All right, I got a half cup of our carrot puree. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and we'll be right back and put it all together. All right, we're gonna put this orange carrot Grand Marnier glaze together. Now you can think of it as a glaze. It can also be used as a barbecue sauce. But as you'll see in a minute, this is rather thin. So I think it works best as a glaze. You can either use it as a marinade as well too, that works. So I've reserved a half a cup of our carrot puree. That's going in first. Now this recipe is fairly simple. Most of the amounts are all half cups. So it's gonna be fairly easy to remember. We reserved some of that orange juice that was in the braising liquid. So I have a half a cup of that braising orange juice liquid. We're trying to maintain the bright orange color with this. A lot of barbecue sauces, even glazes, a typical ingredient is an acid and a sugar to get that acid and the sweet combined. So for our sugar, we're going in with a simple syrup. And what a simple syrup is, it's basically equal amounts of sugar and water. You bring it to a boil, stir it frequently, get all the sugar dissolved, lower it to a simmer, and eventually the sugar will dissolve. It'll become a very clear, syrupy looking liquid such as this. If you continue to simmer it, you can adjust the thickness or the viscosity of it. The longer you simmer it, the longer you boil it, the more the water will begin to evaporate and you'll get a thicker consistency in the syrup. The only thing with that is it's gonna really become a lot sweeter. So half sugar, half water, bring it to a boil, just simmer it for about 5 or 10 minutes and you're good. So I'm gonna go in with a half a cup of simple syrup. This is gonna give us the sweetness to our glaze. Also the viscosity that we're looking for, because when we baste our chicken, we want that thickness in the viscosity so it'll come together as a nice shiny sheen glaze. Now, the other ingredient is a vinegar. We're going in with white vinegar. The only reason why I'm doing white vinegar, we want to maintain the orange color of our glaze. We want the orange to really come through and really make a statement. So with the white vinegar and the simple syrup, that's making sure that we're gonna maintain that orange color. Now, the best ingredient of all, as far as I'm concerned, this is purely optional, Grand Marnier. Now what Grand Marnier is, it's an orange liqueur. This is purely optional. I'm gonna go in with a 1/4 cup. You can adjust to your taste. You can go less, you can go more. If you're not gonna go the Grand Marnier, then just substitute more of the syrup. All right, because there's some sweetness to this. It's actually a syrupy type liqueur, but it has quite a strong orange flavor. So a 1/4 cup of Grand Marnier, just a little bit of salt for seasoning, not much, just a pinch will do. Now we need a little bit of a heat component to it, and we want to keep the orange color. So I'm gonna just go in with a little dusting of cayenne pepper, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm not gonna measure. Just give it maybe 3 or 4 shakes and you're good to go. And that is it. We're gonna get the lid on the processor. We're gonna get this all combined. All right, let's see what you have here. Gotta give it a taste. I can smell the Grand Marnier in this. This is gonna, the acid, the sweetness, I'm telling you, all the flavors, it's well balanced. If you wanna play with the thickness a little bit, you can certainly add a little bit more of the carrot puree. That's gonna give it a little bit more body, a little bit more thickness. You can also go in with a little bit more simple syrup. That'll increase the sugar presence and give it a little more viscosity, the type of thing. So that's it. This is our orange carrot Grand Marnier glaze. We're gonna be using this to baste the chicken. If you want, you can use this as a marinade as well. You can marinate your chicken in this for 3-4 hours, and your chicken will get that nice orange carrot Grand Marnier flavor. So that's it. We have our pesto done, we have our glaze done. One thing left to do, get outside and get cooking. We got our grill fired up, we got the smoker fired up, and we're ready to go. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we're gonna get our chicken ready for the grill. I have a whole chicken, it's about 5.5 pounds. I'm gonna be just splitting this. So we're gonna be grilling up split chickens, so it'll be 2 pieces. First thing I wanna do, I wanna get these wing tips off. I'm not removing the wings, I'm just getting that tip off, because that just kind of gets in the way. There's really no need to even have that on there. So I'm gonna split this. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna go right down the back with a knife and slide it through. Now we have the chicken butterfly basically at this point. I'm just gonna open it up where the breastbone is, give it a little whack, and that's all there is to it. Now we have 2 equal pieces of chicken, the right and the left. I'm gonna get this seasoned up, all flavored up, and I'm using the Perfect Storm. It's a rub by Smokin' Hogs. They're a competition team here out of Massachusetts. And this is a buttery chipotle seasoning. It actually has a decent pepper content, so there's some heat in here. This is gonna balance well with our orange carrot and Grand Marnier glaze. So I'm just gonna liberally get this all nice and sprinkled, all rubbed on all sides. Get underneath that wing. Make sure you pick that wing up and get underneath it. All right, our chicken's ready to go. We're gonna put this off to the side just to let it rest and absorb some of those flavors until we're ready to go out and get these on the grill. We're gonna be grilling these using the indirect grilling method. These are quite big, but we'll get that grill going. So one side, we have the hot zone, the other side, we have a cool zone. We'll be able to create that indirect grilling method in order to cook these chickens off. So gonna let that sit, gonna let it wait, and we'll be back. All right, we're gonna get our carrots going. We're gonna be smoking these carrots. Before we get them out there though, I'm gonna put them together with a little bit of a glaze so we can get a little sweetness to them while they're out there. So I've got 6, I would say, large carrots. I'm gonna remove these green tops. Now I've washed these, I did not scrub them. Personally, I don't feel there's anything peeling a carrot. I think they're fine just the way they are. You give them a nice wash, you're good to go. There's a lot of flavor in the outside part of those carrots, so as far as I'm concerned, just leave that flavor on, take advantage of it, and just wash them. That's all you have to do. So I'm gonna get some of these little narrow tips off the end. Gonna remove the little piece where the seed was on, a little piece where the stem was on. And I'm gonna cut these in half. Also looking to go roughly the same size so that they all cook evenly. If there's any, that looks good. I'm gonna cut these wide pieces in half. Okay, next I have 4 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. So the butter's been melted, and we just hit it in the microwave for a few seconds. I'm gonna pour all this on, our carrots. And we're just gonna gently toss these in the butter, maple syrup, glaze mixture. And these are ready to go. We're gonna get them out to the smoker soon. We're gonna be running at 275 degrees for about 40 minutes, maybe an hour, until they take on some color, until they get nice and fork tender. And that's about it. Our carrots all prepped off. ready for the smoker. We'll be out there in a few minutes. We're gonna get them on about 40 minutes to an hour at 275 degrees. All right, we're all fired up here. We're running at 300 degrees. I said earlier 275, but we're gonna go to 300 to speed up the process a little bit. So all I gotta do is throw them on here, and very simple smoke. We're gonna leave them in the pan just the way they are. I'm gonna come up here, put them right on the top shelf. And at 300 degrees, we're looking at 30 to 40 minutes or so. So we'll be back out here in 30 minutes to check them out and see how we're doing. So don't go anywhere. All right, we're gonna start on our chicken. I'm gonna get it grilled off. I got the grill set, actually we're at 400 degrees. And the reason why we're at 400 degrees, we're doing a 2-zone grilling method where the 2 burners on the right side are on high, the 2 burners on the left side are completely off. So we're gonna get our chicken on, we're gonna get some nice sear marks, get the skin, the outside of it nice and grilled up, and then we're gonna slide it over to the indirect zone so that flame won't be hitting it straight on. And that will act as an oven. Once we get to that point, it'll in essence be an oven cranking at 400 degrees. So we'll get our chicken cooked through and it won't be all burned at the same time. So, like I said, our chicken was already pre-seasoned. These are pretty big. So I'm gonna just get these on. I'm gonna stay with it for a little while. All right, I just got these on. They're on the direct side, so I'm gonna shut the lid and I'm gonna stay with it for a few minutes. And every minute or two, I'm gonna open the lid, I'm gonna check on them, give them a turn, flip them a couple times until we get some nice browning, some nice caramelization on the outside of the chicken. And at that point, we'll get it slid off to the safe zone. So I just wanna come on and check how we're doing, maybe give them a flip, and I'm gonna give them a flip at this point. And we just wanna stay with it. During this initial grilling part of it, we wanna stay with it. And keep rotating it and keep flipping it. And then eventually, like I said, we'll get it off to the safe zone. All right, we're a half hour in with our carrots. I'm gonna open it up and I wanna check how they're coming along. I'm starting to see some browning with the butter, which is a great sign. I wanna flip these over though. I'm just gonna give them a turn and let these go. So far, like I said, we're 30 minutes in. I kind of anticipated these might take 30, 40 minutes. They are obviously gonna go a little bit longer than that. But hey, like I've always said, that's the thing about grilling and smoking, outdoor cooking. Things don't always go as planned. Just make adjustments, add time, raise the temperatures, whatever you need to do to make adjustments to have a successful cook. We'll be back on these in about another 20 minutes, give them a check, and we'll see you then. Don't go anywhere. All right, our chicken's been going for about 10 minutes or so. We've done a few flips, and it's basically ready to get off to the safe zone to finish the cook. But before we do that, this is when I'm gonna start hitting our chicken with our glaze. And periodically, every so often, I'm gonna do that a few times. So I'm just gonna basically just squirt our glaze right on. I mean, you can see there's glaze. It's got a nice sheen to it. There's a little bit of the pulp from the orange juice, from the carrots. It's got a nice texture to it. So I'm gonna be flipping these, and I'm gonna go with the leg side towards the flame. And I'll explain why in a minute after I get these flipped over. All right, I'm gonna baste the tops. I'm just gonna squirt it on there, let it do its thing. All right, separate these out a little bit. Now, like I said, I'm going the leg side towards the flame, the breast side away from the flame. And the reason for that is the breast will cook faster. And the legs, thighs are usually the last things to come up to temp. 165 degrees internal temperature is what we're looking for. So I'm gonna keep those legs close to the heat source so we'll have a balanced cooking. We're gonna shut this lid, and with this indirect zone, we're gonna be basically roasting it at this point between 350 to 400 degrees. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, and we'll come out here every few minutes, take a look at where we at, and just hit it with some more glaze. We're gonna keep that glazing process going maybe 3, 4, 5 times throughout the whole cook to really get a lot of flavor on it. So that's it, stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, our chicken's been on for about 25 minutes now. We're gonna take a look, we're gonna check the temps, and give it another glaze. I actually came out at about 15-20 minute mark and actually did another glazing. So we've been running at 400 degrees, so these are getting close. Now, as you can see, they're taking on a great orange color. I'm actually loving the color that this is right now and how it's shaping up. We've got them off the flame. I'm gonna check the thigh first. We're looking for about 165 degrees, and he's got a little ways to go yet, 118, 116. We need to get that thigh to about 165. The 131, the breast, we're looking at mid 120, so we have a little ways to go on this. I would say another 15 minutes or so. So I'm gonna give it another glaze at this point. Get some nice glistening sheen on that. Picking up the orange, the carrot, all those flavors. You can almost see how it tastes right now. It's looking so good. We're gonna close the lid. We're gonna let them go another 10-15 minutes, come out and tempt them once again. So, I mean, this is looking at maybe close to about 45 minutes altogether for the roasting part after we did the initial browning, the initial sear. So that's about what it would be in your oven if you had it at 400 degrees. It could take anywhere from 45 minutes on up to an hour. So that's it. We're gonna let them go a little bit, then check them again. Don't go anywhere. All right, now it's time to check on these carrots. They've been going for about an hour. And I actually bumped the temperature up a little bit at one point. And as you can see, we actually moved them down to the lower level from the top level, so they're closer to the heat. Once again, like I said, always adjusting. You're checking your cook as it's going along, checking for color, checking for appearance, checking for temperature. If you need to make adjustments, by all means, go right ahead. So these are looking fantastic. We're getting great color. Carrots are done. We're gonna bring them inside. We're gonna hold them in an oven, low temp, 150 degrees, until we're ready for service. So that's it. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we've been working at this chicken for about an hour and a half, 400 degrees. It's finally come to temp. We expected it to be a lot quicker than it did, but like I keep saying, when it comes to grilling and smoking, you gotta just keep your eye on things and adjust accordingly as time goes on. So we're gonna get these off. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna plate everything up, make it look pretty, and we're gonna taste it and let you know exactly what we came up with. So stick around and don't go anywhere. All right, we finally got to where we needed to be. We are done. Our chicken came off the grill. Our carrots are ready to go. So we're gonna get all this plated up for you. I'm gonna basically arrange the two chicken. We have two halves of chicken. And then I'm just gonna go in and put some carrots right alongside of it. Smoked maple and butter glazed carrots. I can smell the smoke coming from these right now. They smell absolutely delicious. We're gonna hit the chicken with another blast of glaze right at the end. And our Carrot-Top pesto. Let's not forget that. We're gonna take a spoon, and we're just gonna go in and give it a little dipsy-do. Then for good measure, I'm actually gonna go in and give it a little sprinkle. I think that's better right there. What do you think? Garnish with a little orange. All right, so there you have it, folks. It's a Wise Guys original. You're not gonna find this anywhere else. We did an orange, carrot, Grand Marnier glazed, simple grilled chicken with a smoked carrot with a maple butter glaze, and we top that off with a Carrot-Top pesto, just for you. All right, we've got this all plated up. We're all dressed up. There's only one way to go with this, one place to go with this, and that's dive right in, head first. We're gonna give this a taste. I can't wait to dig into this chicken because it's screaming orange at me. We did that orange carrot glaze, and you know, I can smell it. I can actually taste it with my eyes. I'm gonna get a little piece of skin on there. Piece of chicken, a piece of skin. drag it through that orange glaze. This one fantastic bite. This will wake you up in the morning. The orange flavor is so in your face. It's absolutely delicious. That white vinegar, the simple syrup, and that Grand Marnier in the background. Man, this is one chicken dish that's really going to knock your socks off. I got to go in for another taste. Usually I just do one and I'm out of here. But another bite. Now we got these carrots. We smoked these for about an hour. We put them in a maple, in a butter glaze. They look fantastic. Gonna drag it through that carrot top pesto. Come on, pesto. All right, let me unpack these carrots. First of all, they're fork tender, but at the same time, they got a little firmness to them, which I love. And we did that maple butter glaze. That's coming through, the maple, the butter, the sweetness. And let me tell you, this carrot top pesto is an absolutely winner. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna jar it, and I might even take a bath in this as well. This is unreal. With the carrots, it's just, I don't know what else to say. There's just so much going on here. It's absolutely delicious. I hope you guys try this for yourself and at home. And what else can I say? This is Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys Barbecue. Please like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. I hope you like what we did for you today. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you next time.